video review. Now, I don't do a lot of these, but today we're going to be taking a look at the new Marvel Avengers 1/6 scale Hot Toys Thor figure. Now, I might do some more of these in the future. I've done a couple in the past, and a lot of people really seem to enjoy them. But it's going to be up to you guys, the viewers, to decide if I'm going to do more of these. So if you do want to see more Hot Toy figure reviews, go and leave me a comment down in the video description and let me know. But taking a look at the package for this guy first, Hot Toys does another wonderful job of creating an image here on their package, which, for me, confuses me. I honestly don't know if I'm looking at an actual image of the actor Chris Hemsworth or if it's an image of the actual toy. I mean, it's amazing to me. I'm kind of thinking with the way the hair looks here that this might actually be an actual photograph of Chris Hemsworth. I could be wrong, but you never know. Then you come around here on the side, you've got an extension of his arm. You got a little reflective image here of Mjolnir. Come around to the other side, and then you have his other arm. And that's about it for that packaging. Then you come around here to the top. It's just a slip sleeve. It says Thor, and then you slide this off. You have an opening here with the figure on the inside, except, well the figure's not in there, because I took him out. But he does come with the Tesseract Chamber that you see at the end of the movie that holds the Tesseract that Thor and Loki hold together to kind of warp back to Asgard. You got Mjolnir, which would be right there. You got his various hands. But that's about it for the packaging. I mean, it's not too overwhelming. It's not one of the DX packages, so it's actually pretty simplistic. But there you have it. So let's actually bring in the star of this review, Thor. Alright guys, so here we have Thor opened up and out of its packaging. And as I mentioned previously, this is not a DX version, so it doesn't come with a whole slew of accessories, but the ones that it does come with are really pretty cool. Now, in addition to his regular hands, he also comes with a slew of many other hands, a total of 7 additional hands, for a grand total of 9. Now, that's a good and a bad thing. He comes with a lot of hands, but one of them that really kind of upsets me is he doesn't have one to really hold the Tesseract Chamber. I'll zoom in so that you can see that you see some wonderful detail, very typical of Hot Toys, all the way throughout this whole thing. It does not separate, so if you're trying to open this up, don't do it. You'll end up breaking the thing. It also doesn't rotate, which is something that it did in the actual movie to kind of lock in and send Thor and Loki back to Asgard. I really do like this, but I do have a problem with it just in general. The biggest being, this is the Tesseract that came with the Avengers Nick Fury. And as you can see, it does remove, and it's a really nice kind of clear, translucent, purple, bluish kind of, well, blue, not purple, but you can see there is a huge size difference between these. That's something that really kind of bothers me. So when you're looking in terms of a scale, I really think that this should actually be a little bit bigger to incorporate this inside of it. It's something that it's one of those things that it's probably a minor nitpick, but when you're paying this much for these figures, I really expect top-notch attention to detail. Now, that's not to say that this is not fantastic. I absolutely love it. But when you have a Tesseract previously that's in this size, I would like to see that carry through. And then the other problem is the handles, like I said, are way too small. The only way that you can actually get them to hold it, well, you can have them do it like this, I guess, but you can see that it's too small to fit into his actual hands. The only one that you can really do it with would maybe be this one, and in doing so, you don't get all the fingers in there. Let me see if I can. I mean, you can very easily get his first 3 fingers in there, but you got his pinky hanging out, and that just looks too small. I mean, it really should be just a hair bigger, and that's my biggest complaint with this. It's a wonderful accessory. I just think it's too small. Not much like a lot of just standard figures. He does come with a standard base that you assemble it. You just pops in and pops apart like so, and lock that into place here. Let me give that a good push. It says Thor on there, it says Avengers. It does have the crotch cradle, which just adjusts and can come all the way out, so you can really kind of have them. Oh well, that's effing retarded. That just split all the way down. Oh, give me a. You're kidding me. Well, that's pretty ridiculously lame. I'm gonna have to glue that together, but I mean, it kind of sort of holds once you get in there, but yeah, you just saw that split all the way down there, so
I will probably have to glue that, so that's really unfortunate. Again, you pay that much, you don't expect that to happen. And then as for Thor himself, well, I mean, one other major accessory that it comes with is Mjolnir. Now, as you can see, well, he's a little derpy and he fell. Wonderful recreation of Thor's hammer here. Zooming in here, you can see another wonderful attention to detail. You got some wear marks on here, which that's just the coloration on the actual metal, but it's absolutely superb. And it is metal, so that's really very cool. The handle, I don't believe, is metal, and then you got a real leather strap down here at the end, but so very cool. And then you can see all the details carved in here and everything. You got the top section. Zooming in as close as I possibly can just so that you can pick that up. I mean, that is some wonderful detail on there. Even throughout the side, you got, I'm assuming Norse writing on there, but very, very cool looking. Absolutely love the way that this turned out. Now, as for Thor himself, again, another wonderfully detailed figure that absolutely beautifully captures the likeness of Chris Hemsworth, as I said. One thing that you'll notice is that he does seem to have very loose knees. He likes falling down at the knees, and that's really very annoying. But absolute wonderful detail. Now, the actual costume is more or less in line with the way that it looked in the Avengers movie, and I hate the sound that this makes when I angle my camera down, but there are slight differences between this costume and then what we got previously with the Thor movie version. I particularly like this one. It's just my personal preference, and I was really more or less holding out for it, but wonderful detail. Absolutely superb. The feet, when you come down here, you see that it's actually separate from his shin and calf guard, which is really kind of interesting. Wonderful attention to detail on the bottom of the boots. They're kind of dirty, actually. And my absolute favorite part on this is his cape. I just love the way that it lies. Now, there are no like metal wires or anything in here, so it's just going to drape down, but that's absolutely stunning, very beautiful looking. Definitely a cape worthy of a god. And zooming in just so that you can get an up-close look at Thor's face, another wonderful sculpt, as I said. Really cool attention to detail. I love the way that his hair right here is actually kind of like a separate piece, kind of flowing away, which is really very cool. Softer hair, so you do still get the normal head articulation, but you do have to be careful because the hair does come across the back of the actual cape, so that can cause a little bit of problems when you're trying to rotate his head around, which it's a minor nitpick, I suppose, but it's still one nonetheless. Coming down to the chest and the torso area, you can see wonderful detail on here. This is just a very rubberized kind of suit on the inside here. I have seen some people that have actually removed it. I don't know how you would, and I don't recommend it to anybody. It does say that the cape is removable in the instructions, yet it really isn't. Hot Toys has come out and said that you can't remove it, so don't try ripping that off. Then you got the arm guards here. Everything wonderful detail. The arms are a little bit more limited in terms of their articulation, and as you can see, rotating the arms up is a little bit of a pain because of the rubberized arm here, so you don't get a lot of motion here at the shoulder, but it is all there. It's just when you rotate it, you kind of have to then position the rubber, rotate it around, rotate it up, rotate it around, and my biggest concern would be overstretching this rubber and actually causing it to tear, so I don't really bother with it. I just kind of leave it where he's holding Mjolnir in his hand and leave it alone like that. Now, he does have the waist articulation, but again, it's all underneath this kind of rubber bodysuit, which you can't really get to, so that's very limited as well. The hips move in and out, forward and back, but it's kind of on this little vinyl bit right here. I'm assuming it kind of feels like it's vinyl. But again, I mean, I love the detail. You can now finally see like black lines going through here, which is really very cool, and I hope it's coming across on my camera. A lot of times when we get these Hot Toy figures, we get a full appreciation of the actual suit that was used in the actual movie. When you look at the movie, even the highest definition cameras and best TVs possible, really, you probably miss out on a lot of these details. So you got that hip articulation, you got the knees, they also rotate at the knee, this little bit here flops around, and then the feet pivot, so really very cool. My biggest complaint would be, like I said, the knees seem a little bit loose, and it makes me wonder if those joints are all the way up in there, because it seems a little bit too loose to me. I want it comes down to it, hot toy figures are a very expensive hobby to get into. But if you are interested in picking this guy up, he is well worth adding to your collection, especially if you are collecting the Avenger figures. This is an absolutely wonderful recreation of Thor, created by Chris Hemsworth for the Avenger movie, and Hot Toys did an exceptional job of capturing that likeness. Now, my biggest problem with this particular figure, as I said, I really think that this accessory is a little bit too small. I think it should be bigger, and in doing so, I think it would correct a lot of the problems with the hands not being able to actually hold it. For me personally, I do have a bit of a quality control issue where the knees feel very loose, and just having him stand here really is kind of a pain in the butt. But I mean, like that, where he just wants to fall over, and that's really very unfortunate. And a lot of it has to do with the ankles too. They feel a little bit loose as well. So it's tough really to get him into a pose where he's going to stand there and not really fall over when you're trying to display him. Luckily though, he does come with this stand that's not broken, so you can just take it around here, put it in between his crotch, lift this up a little bit, and yeah, see it. That's really annoying to me now. So like I said, I'm gonna have to glue this together just to kind of get it to actually work again. But beyond that though, I mean, again, that's a QC issue that I have with it. But when you're paying this much for a figure, you really shouldn't have any kind of QC issues. That being said, I still love the way that the figure looks. And if you're interested in picking this guy up, go ahead and click on the link down in the video description. You'll go to Big Bad Toy Store, and you'll be able to pick this guy up. And if you are interested in picking him up, I really would do so, because as a lot of you collectors of Hot Toys know, after some time, the value for these really do skyrocket, and it becomes increasingly more difficult to buy these at their original price the longer you wait to pick them up. But that's about it, guys. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. Keep in touch with me. Find out recent purchases as well as all upcoming video reviews all at facebook.com/TeamBotimus, and follow me over on Twitter at twitter.com/Optibotimus. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.